Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. On today's episode, I was missing for Tuesday's episode, but don't worry guys, I'm back and I'm better. I just needed time to myself. But today's episode is talking about my experiences growing up as the quirky black girl and what prompted me to talk about this subject today. There was a trend going around, I think it was on TikTok, I believe, and it was asking ChatGPT to give you a fictional character from a series. And the character that I ended up getting was Issa Rae from Insecure. Now, I've had a lot of my friends tell me to watch this series prior to this whole trend going on and saying that, this series is so similar to what you've been going through and blase, blase, blase. But then again, Insecure is a very relatable series, okay? When I got that comparison, I showed it to people that I knew, and people kept on telling me this made so much sense, this made so much sense, this made so much sense. I was not the only one that got Issa Rae. Obviously, birds of a feather flock together, so I wouldn't be surprised if some of my friends also add Issa Rae, which ended up being the case. And my experience growing up as the quirky black girl. So what is important to know is I don't know how one can become quirky or become what people would categorize as weird, is what I would deem as just being authentic, like just being myself. And when I was of young age, being myself was something that was just, I don't know, it's normal. I didn't understand the reasoning of trying to act like someone that I was not, because that just didn't make sense. Obviously, with the people that your environment will eventually cause you to put on a certain persona or a certain mask to hide out your initial personality. But I think something, and I think the people that grew up with me, from me being raised in the States and then me coming back to Europe, I feel like everybody has each experienced me at my highest level of authenticity right off the bat at meeting me. I tend to be very quiet when you first meet me because I just don't know what I'm getting into. And quite honestly, I don't really want to scare you off because I know that once I get comfortable, I get comfortable. And when I was younger, I grew up with, surrounded by a lot of black girls. I was constantly the funny, weird black girl. That's what I was characterized as. And I think I got that title because I would always say some of the most out-of-pocket things that were very true, but that were said in such a weird way that it would immediately lead people to be like, now why would you say that? And just start laughing. And I think that's how a lot of people met me, being like this quirky individual. You get a lot of criticism, but people are oddly attracted to you. It's like they don't have a reasoning as to why they're so close to you. They're only, like, I used to get this a lot, like, you're entertaining, like, you're so funny, you're so funny. But it's like some of the things that these people would do, or even if you place these people next to me, we didn't really have anything in common or anything that would be like, these two together make sense being friends, you know? In particular, my first best friend from the States. I'm not gonna name drop her because I don't even think she knows I do this. We're still close friends, obviously. And she is a very level-headed individual. Like, she has her moments and she can be very goofy, and she's also a big comedian, and she's like one of the funniest women I know. But if someone was to ask her, like, why were you friends with this girl when we were in 3rd grade? She probably wouldn't even know why we were friends. I was just a very odd person, but I wasn't creepy odd, you know? Because there's levels to this. I was actually Issa Rae type of awkward. Like, it just never bothered me to be entirely myself. And I think growing up as that, you don't realize it in the moment because people are constantly calling you weird, but at the same time they're always around you and they call you funny, and then it's like you get boxed into like a box that's actually named after you, basically. I mean, it's just Priska. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's no word that could really describe exactly what you are to these people. They just know you're you, and they just appreciate you for being you. And growing up with that, you kind of get so used to always putting your authenticity so up front, quicker and quicker and quicker and quicker and quicker, because there was a time where I would delay showing people my personality because I just, it's still being linked to weird, like people still would say like, you say some of the weirdest shit, like da 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 da, whatever the case may be. And so you kind of get like restraint from wanting to constantly like be yourself. So there was a period in my life where it's like I just felt the need to like shift. I've had multiple of these periods, to be very quite honest with you. And being that type of black girl, it's like you whether be unapologetically yourself, or you have to create a whole new persona, because it's almost as if your mental cannot allow you to become someone that you're not fully yourself. So it's whether you play another role or you play you unapologetically you. And I have attempted to create another persona outside of myself, but I thought God cooked with the persona that he gave me. Like, it was just too personified to me and to my experience that it's hard not to present myself as myself when the opportunity is given, without any restraint, without any boundaries. And I think being that growing up has eventually kind of like shedded the wrong people off of me and constantly attracted the right people to stay in my life, even if it's for a season or it's for long term. And I'm entirely grateful for that. But when I was thinking about this subject and I saw the comparison, I told myself, like, I don't really know how. I mean, I could see there's a lot of event in one's life for you to become that bracket of black girl. Like, you don't even fit into the whole, like, you're not fully a baddie, but you're also you're not fully a soft girl. Like, you're somewhere in this limbo where it's like people can't really put their finger on you, but they know that they're really interested in what you do and how you act and how you move and how authentic you present yourself and how you are. A good example of an influencer that does this is, I hope I'm not butchering her name, I think it's Jakayla. And she's like this beautiful girl, very gorgeous girl. And then she just cannot help in videos to show her personality or make weird faces or say some of the craziest things or just do some of the, like, it's just being so you just don't know how to radiate in no other light but being yourself, basically. It's a curse and a blessing. But I think it's a bigger blessing than it is a curse. I think when you're younger, it is a curse because people just constantly are just branding you to what they deem their normal. So the whole thing of like, you're weird, and why do you say things like that? Or like the odd looks, the one stare looks that I would receive when I was in middle school, elementary, off of the things that I would say. And then I now am an adult, and I could honestly tell people, like, the circle that I have around me is a circle of very authentic people that reflect the person that I am. I think it's liberating in a way to even be like this quirky black girl that just has these odd characteristics that you'll never see in anybody else, and have these weird sayings and these weird mannerism. I don't want to say weird, but unorthodox mannerism that you just would not see anywhere else. I think it's something that I really didn't appreciate much when I was growing up. But now that I'm adult, and again, my frontal lobe is fully developed. Like, hello, somebody. Our frontal lobe is finally developed. I understand how crucial it was. But honestly, I would love hearing how how people's experience went into growing up as being this quirky black girl. But something that I would judge is there was a period in my life that there was no space to be that. There was no podium to be that. You just had to follow the herd all the time. And so you being this quirky black girl made you like the black sheep of all the other sheeps, basically. Not saying nobody's a follower, guys. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just talking about a category right now. But it's like it made you odd because, again, you weren't the baddie, but you weren't the soft girl. You weren't the clean girl aesthetic. You weren't like, you were just you to the fullest extent. Like, you were just you. Like, there was no hidden facade to yourself, but just presenting who you were. And I always say some of the like women who end up being like these pretty funny women went through some of the craziest shit. So it's like, I understand how the character probably built itself, but I think there's beauty in it. Like, there's beauty in the details of having grown up as, you know, what people would categorize as the weird girl. So that is the message for today's video. I hope you guys like this video. Make sure you comment, like, and subscribe. And share this video to someone that you feel like should hear it. And if that person is you, then share it to you, you know? But thank you so much for supporting this video. And thank you so much for the people who constantly keep coming back to watch more of my videos. It is very much appreciated, especially in moments where I feel like I doubt myself. Seeing you guys' comments is so... I can't even put into words how grateful I am every time I see it. And it always comes at moments where I feel like I'm doubting myself in this whole YouTube thing. So I'm very, very, very grateful for it. And I hope you guys really like this video, and make sure to tune in into the next one. Keep on interacting in the comments. I love hearing what you guys have to say. And on the next videos, my love. Mwah. Bye.